Our home, planet Earth, is shrouded in enigmas that defy all logic. At this very moment, events are happening that are so inexplicable that not even 1,000 lifetimes would be enough to know them all. Unlike those people who simply disappear in the woods as if they had been swallowed by nothingness, today I will share with you two cases that go beyond a simple disappearance. According to their own stories, they did not get lost, but were taken and abducted by beings from another planet. Does this sound familiar? Or maybe you've never heard anything like this before? Join me to discover these intriguing stories and decide for yourself if we are really alone in the universe. Travis, born on April 23, 1957 in Arizona, USA, worked as a logger in Sitgreaves National Park near Snowflake, Arizona. Forests have always been the scene of mysterious tales where the unknown seems to lurk among the trees. But few cases are as intriguing and controversial as that of Travis Walton, a 22-year-old logger whose inexplicable disappearance and subsequent reappearance in the 19th century Apache-Sitgreaves National Forest have left the world perplexed since 1975. Imagine the vast forest in eastern Arizona, a dense, remote place bathed in the dim light of dusk. Travis was working that November 5th with a team of 6 loggers, felling trees as part of a forestry project. As dusk fell, they climbed into their truck to return to the nearby town of Snowflake. It was then that routine transformed into an event that none of them could forget. As they drove down a winding road through the trees, they noticed a bright light in the foliage. At first, they thought it was the reflection of the sun or perhaps a fire. But as they got closer, they found themselves facing something that defied explanation. A luminous, disc-shaped object floating in the air. It gave off a deep blue glow, illuminating the forest with an unreal atmosphere. Against the warnings of his companions, Travis got out of the truck to take a closer look. The strange object was emitting a high-pitched sound. Travis Walton got out of the truck and approached it with curiosity. When he was directly under the object, a beam of blue light hit him, throwing him back several meters. Panicked, the other loggers fled the scene, convinced that Travis was dead. However, when they returned moments later, neither Travis nor the object were there. Travis's disappearance sparked an intense search involving police, family members, and volunteers. The police searched for Travis intensively for 3 days using a large group of dogs and helicopters. But it was all in vain because they were unable to find him or find any clues, even going so far as to think that he might have suffered hypothermia, which was most likely. Although nothing could be proven with certainty, the companions were thoroughly interrogated and were even given lie detector tests to determine if they had committed any crime. They all insisted on their version, and the results of the tests supported their story. Still, suspicions and rumors began to circulate in the small community. 5 days later, on November 10th, Travis reappeared. He was found near a gas station, disoriented and visibly affected. Although at first he could not remember what had happened, over time he began to recount fragments of an experience that seemed taken from a science fiction movie. According to Travis, he had woken up in a bright and sterile place, like a futuristic clinical room. He recalled seeing humanoid figures staring at him without speaking, as a feeling of paralysis enveloped him. He mentioned strange lights and sounds, as well as a deep fear that pervaded him. The memories were fragmented and diffuse, more like dreams than a clear experience. The case became a media phenomenon, attracting both believers and skeptics. Many saw it as evidence of an extraterrestrial encounter, while others considered it a well-crafted hoax. However, neither Travis nor his companions have changed their version of events over the years. Moreover, lie detector tests conducted over time have consistently supported their claims. The cultural impact of this case has been profound. It inspired the book The Walton Experience, written by Travis himself, as well as the film Fire in the Sky in 1993. Although the film dramatized some aspects of the story, it helped cement the story in the popular imagination. The setting for this mysterious story is the Apache-Sitgreaves National Forest, a vast natural region spanning more than 2 million acres between Arizona and New Mexico. This place combines mountainous terrain, deep canyons, and a network of rivers and lakes that make it a refuge for wildlife. One of its most iconic landmarks is the Mogollon Escarpment, a natural formation that rises to more than 7,600 feet in height, offering breathtaking views in an environment that inspires both peace and mystery. The forest is home to a rich biological diversity with over 400 species of animals and plants. This variety makes it ideal for hiking, bird watching, and other outdoor activities. But it is also a place full of stories and legends. For the White Mountain Apache tribe, Mount Baldy, which is part of the forest, is a sacred site surrounded by mythical narratives that have been passed down through generations. Despite its natural beauty, this place also hides mysteries. In addition to the famous Travis Walton incident, the forest has been the scene of other accounts of unexplained encounters. Some hikers have reported sightings of strange lights in the sky, while others speak of unexplained sounds emerging from the depths of the forest. These stories fuel theories that this environment could be a hotspot for forces beyond our understanding. Today, the Travis Walton case remains one of the most discussed in the field of close encounters. Was it an alien abduction, a conspiracy, or a phenomenon we still cannot understand? The Apache-Sitgreaves National Forest, with its ancient trees and enigmatic atmosphere, holds a secret that may never be fully solved. And the question remains, what would Travis tell us if he could remember everything he experienced during those 5 days? Could his experience be a key piece in the great puzzle of many mysteries? The case of Betty and Barney Hill, the first widely documented close encounter of the third kind. The night of September 19, 1961, would forever change the lives of Betty and Barney Hill. Returning from a vacation in Niagara Falls in Montreal, this couple never imagined they would be the protagonists of one of the most famous and debated alien abduction cases in history. Betty and Barney were driving down an isolated road in New Hampshire, surrounded by dense forests, when they noticed a bright light in the night sky. At first, they assumed it was an airplane, but the light was moving erratically, changing direction and speed in ways impossible for a conventional aircraft. Intrigued and somewhat uneasy, they decided to stop to take a closer look. Using binoculars, Betty described a disc-shaped object with multicolored lights. Barney, looking too, began to feel an inexplicable fear. They both realized that the light was not simply a distant object, but was following them. What would you do if on a quiet night on your way home, an unknown light seemed to follow you? Would it be something natural or something that defied logic? As the object approached, Barney stopped the car and got out with a gun, driven by a protective instinct. From a distance, he could see what he described as humanoid beings watching him from inside the craft. Frightened, he returned to the vehicle and accelerated away. But then, a strange sensation invaded them. A humming sound accompanied by vibrations enveloped the car, and the couple began to feel disoriented. When they finally regained consciousness, they realized that they had traveled a considerable distance, but could not remember how they had gotten there. They noticed unexplained damage to the car and their clothing. Betty also experienced strange recurring dreams in the days that followed, in which she recalled being taken aboard a ship and subjected to medical examinations by beings with large black eyes. Why Betty and Barney? Was it a random choice, or was there something else that made these beings special? In 1964, faced with increasing unease and a need to understand what had happened, the couple underwent regressive hypnosis with Dr. Benjamin Simon. During the sessions, both Betty and Barney independently recounted similar details about being abducted by aliens. They described the beings as small, with gray skin and large dark eyes. Betty even recounted seeing a star map that one of the beings showed her, indicating possible locations in the cosmos. Could this map be evidence that these encounters have a greater purpose? And what did the stars that Betty was able to remember mean? The Hills' hypnotic testimony attracted the attention of the media and the UFO community, becoming a reference point for future accounts of alien abductions. But it also raised questions. Could the memories under hypnosis be real, or simply a reconstruction based on dreams and suggestions? The Hill case was investigated by several ufological groups and was included in files such as those of UNICAP, National Committee on Investigation of Aerial Phenomena. Investigators analyzed the damage to the vehicle and the behavior of the Hills, concluding that something traumatic had happened. The star map described by Betty was analyzed in detail by amateur astronomer Marjorie Fish, who suggested that it could correspond to the location of Zeta Reticuli, a binary system more than 39 light-years away. However, skeptics argued that the Hill's memories could have been influenced by popular culture at the time, as the rise of science fiction films was beginning to popularize the idea of extraterrestrial beings with large eyes and gray skin. After the incident, Betty and Barney Hill became prominent figures within the ufological community, but they also faced skepticism and ridicule. Barney, in particular, suffered health problems that some attributed to the stress caused by the experience. Betty, for her part, dedicated much of her life to studying the UFO phenomenon, participating in conferences and sharing her story. The incident occurred on an isolated road near Franconia Notch, a mountain pass surrounded by dense forests and landscapes that seemed taken from another world. This place is not only known for the Hill case, but also for being the scene of other sightings of strange lights in the sky. Could this area be a point of interest for unknown phenomena? Theories suggest that some areas of the Earth could act as portals or energy points that attract these manifestations. The case of Betty and Barney Hill remains one of the most fascinating and debated in the history of ufology. Was it really an alien abduction or a mix of psychological and cultural factors? Whatever the truth, their story invites us to reflect on the possibility that we are not alone in the universe and on the impact that the unknown can have on our lives. And do you think we are being observed from the stars? And so we conclude this video with these two events that defy all logic and understanding. Stories separated by time, but united by the same enigma. What really happened to Travis Walton, Betty and Barney Hill? We may never have definitive answers, but what is certain is that these cases continue to raise questions that stay with us long after hearing their stories. And what do you think? Do you believe in the possibility of life beyond our planet? Or do you prefer to think that it was all a simple coincidence? If these mysteries have intrigued you as much as they have me, don't forget to leave your thumbs up. See you in the next mystery, if they don't take us there before then.